What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Sinister Bunny Studios, your go-to channel for heavy metal content. And today we've got some unfortunate news on the Megadeth home front. And I'm going to be reading this from a Rolling Stone article online. Megadeth has officially parted ways with David Ellefson. Now, if you're not keeping up with everything that's happened the last few weeks with him and Megadeth, you might see this as a big shock all of a sudden, but there are some videos and pictures leaked of David Ellefson flicking the bean with some woman who was not his wife, and that caused all sorts of problems. People were trying to claim that she was underage and he was grooming her and all this crazy shit, and I knew from the beginning, as soon as that happened, that was pretty much the nail in the coffin for Ellefson. But let's kind of read on, because I'm sure there's a lot more to it than that. However, like I said, it's not a huge shock to me. But according to Rolling Stone, Megadeth have parted ways with bassist David Ellefson, who is actually one of the co-founders of Megadeth with Dave Mustaine. Amid allegations of sexual impropriety, we're informing fans that David Ellefson is no longer playing with Megadeth. Frontman Dave Mustaine said in a statement posted to the band's Facebook account, "We do not take this decision lightly." Which, come on, we all know the whole person behind this is Dave Mustaine. He is very quick to get rid of people if he doesn't like them or if there's something wrong with them in any way. He is very quick to, you're out. He's done that ever since the birth of Megadeth. That's why Megadeth has gone through so many members. Sexually explicit video of Ellefson, 56 years old, flicking the bean, and photos of flirtatious exchanges with a woman surfaced online earlier this month. At the time, the rumor spread online that he had been grooming an underage fan. He denied the accusations and posted a statement from the woman that apparently was the one he did all this kind of stuff with, and she said that they were of age the entire time. Both his statement and hers have since been deleted, apparently. I didn't know that. While we do not know every detail of what occurred with an already strained relationship, what has already been revealed now is enough to make working together impossible moving forward, Mustaine continued. We look forward to seeing our fans on the road this summer, and we cannot wait to share our brand new music with the world. It is almost complete, which is cool. Hey, a little bit of a silver lining in these black clouds. A representative for Ellefson did not immediately reply to Rolling Stone's request for comment. On May 10th, Ellefson addressed the allegations with a since-deleted Instagram post, saying, as you may or may not know, some private and personal conversations and interactions have surfaced online, released with ill intention by a third party who was not authorized to have them or share them. Ellefson wrote at the time, "While certainly embarrassing, I want to address it openly and honestly as possible. As much as it's not something I'm proud of, these were private adult interactions that were taken out of context and manipulated to inflict maximum damage to my reputation, my career, and family." So rightly so, Ellefson has been trying to defend himself in this whole scandal this entire time. Ellefson also included a statement from the woman he claimed was a recipient of his online messages, and she said, "I am the girl people are talking about in the posts about David Ellefson right now, and I just wanted to tell my side of the story because people are sharing misinformation and the situation is getting out of hand without the truth being out there." Yes, those video calls did happen, but I was the one to initiate them, and never was I underage. I was always a consenting adult. Nothing appropriate ever happened before that. It was all consensual. I'm not a victim, and I have not been groomed in the slightest, as I was the one to initiate it. I was just naive enough to record him and share it with a friend without his permission. In the end, it was all consensual and all online. And that's apparently a statement from the girl who was involved with Ellefson and all this video stuff. I don't know how it got to this point, but a lot of information is being left out by the people purposely trying to hurt or harm him, she continued. I would ask that anyone sharing these personal private videos or any misinformation about them to please stop. Sorry, lady. I don't know who you are, but just because you asked nicely for them to stop, it ain't gonna stop. He's a celebrity, and these are juicy, spicy things that have happened. There's no stopping that. It was as soon as you put it out there, even sharing it with your friend, as soon as that was done, It was all over. That was the nail in the coffin for Ellefson right there. And later that day, Megadeth released a statement saying they were watching developments closely with regards to the allegations. There are clearly aspects of David's private life that he kept to himself. As the situation unfolds, it is important that all voices could be heard clearly and respectfully. We look forward to the truth coming to light. Apparently, 10 days later, Ellefson deactivated his Twitter account. I didn't know that. Yeah, and then this is just some information on Ellefson. He joined Megadeth in 83, stayed in the band until 2002, when Mustaine disbanded the group to deal with a medical condition, which that might have been his neck, maybe, when he had the stuff with his whiplash neck and he had surgery and stuff on that to join some of his vertebrae. That same year, Blabbermouth reports Ellefson filed an $18.5 million lawsuit against Mustaine, alleging Mustaine had withheld profits. That's the part that I thought was why he left, or why Ellefson was out. The suit was dismissed and Ellefson rejoined the band in 2010. That's my idea of why that whole thing happened from 2004 to 2010. Not a medical thing. I'm sure that played a little bit into it, but I think the whole money thing is the biggest proprietor in that. And like it says down here, Megadeth are scheduled to kick off a tour with Lamb of God starting in August, and they have not yet announced a replacement bassist because the announcement that they're kicking him out basically just happened just a few hours ago. And so, this whole thing is obviously a whole load of drama stuff, unfortunately, and it's unfortunate that it happened. And as soon as I read that some videos and pictures of him flicking the bean with this girl was released on the internet, like I said, I knew that was pretty much the nail in the coffin for him, because Dave doesn't put up with that kind of shit, and I know that Dave and David have had kind of a rocky relationship over the course of Megadeth, so it's not surprising that Ellefson has gotten kicked out now. It's really not, and I think Dave Mustaine is just playing damage control as much as possible. He doesn't want that kind of controversy being, thought about with Megadeth. He's separating the two, Ellefson and Megadeth, so that this whole crazy scenario is really only going to affect Ellefson and not Megadeth. And he's completely separating himself from the situation and his band, which Megadeth basically is Dave Mustaine's band, so that any kind of negative press is strictly focused on Ellefson and not Megadeth as a whole, which is smart from a business perspective, but maybe kind of an asshole move from Dave. Like, I love Dave Mustaine. I've idolized him for years. I love Megadeth. But with someone who you co-founded Megadeth with, and I know they've had a rocky relationship, but like, you've got this relationship with somebody for so long and you're so quick to kick them out. Like, maybe there's some stuff that they know that we don't. There's probably more to the story, but I do know, just from the history of Megadeth, Dave Mustaine is very quick to kick people out if they do something wrong. And, that's why the lineup for Megadeth has constantly been in rotation over the years, ever since its birth. Guitar players, drummers, all that. It does not surprise me that this happened. Makes me a little upset, I guess. But again, there's probably stuff that we don't know, so I don't want to stake a claim too much on, this is bullshit, Ellefson shouldn't have gotten kicked out or anything like that. Like, maybe he rightly deserved it. Maybe there's way more to the story than we know. He did, do these sexual things online with somebody who's not his wife. So he was essentially unfaithful to his wife, and, that's a whole thing in its own. But I don't know how much flack this girl is getting for recording him and putting that out there. Now, I'm not saying it's her fault, because he shouldn't have been doing that in the first place, but the fact that she recorded it and had the audacity to share it with a friend, thinking that, oh no, they'll keep it private, they won't put it online. Come on, how can you be that stupid? It's a really weird and sticky situation, no pun intended, but still, that's really unfortunate. I love Megadeth, and I know this isn't the end of Megadeth, especially since Dave has been pushing through this whole thing with like throat cancer in the last year and a half or so when he was going through that whole crazy shit. Like, he's pushed through that, and Megadeth is still Megadeth, and they're working on music, and obviously they have an album coming out. I don't know when, but apparently it's almost complete. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go. I know they had the drummer from Lamb of God play with them on Dystopia and stuff like that, so it wouldn't surprise me if they find a replacement bassist very fast. I mean, I'm sure there's lots of people like, hey, I'll play for you, I'll play for you, I'll play for you, all over the place. And they're probably going to hold some auditions and stuff, and probably within a month, I'd say, they're going to have another bass player. Mark my words, within a month, they'll have somebody picked out to either tour with them to do this tour, or to even just be a part of the band and record future music and stuff like that, like a permanent member, not just a fill-in. But only the future will tell. Only the future will tell. This, it's such a sticky situation. I don't really know where my angriness lies. If it's in Dave Mustaine for being so, cold-hearted about it and just very quick to cut him out, or if it's with Dave because he did something stupid, or if it's with the girl that he was involved with because she decided to record it and share it out, thinking that for some reason it wouldn't get shared online. Do you know what the internet is? But sticky situation, shitty situation, all in all, poop. It's poop. But I figured I'd let you guys know, tell you about it. And this is kind of a segment type of video that I think I want to do, because I want to do maybe once a week like a cool longer form video that's like a show in a way, that has different segments like this talking about news and stuff like that. So I'm trying to think of cool, unique, and original things to do in it. So we'll just kind of see how that goes, and whenever I can implement that stuff, obviously I will. But a cool section might be this kind of thing here, where I'm talking about news, like epic things that are coming out with bands like Megadeth and all that kind of shit. So we'll just kind of see with time. But that's all I've got for you guys. Tell me what you think about this whole situation. Is it right to have kicked him out? Should he have done any of that? What do you think about the girl sharing his stuff and all that? Just let me know what you think about the entire situation, because I'm curious to hear some other opinions other than my own. But like I always say, thank you guys so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Careful who you flick your bean with, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay metal.